Welcome to the most deleted, shadow banned, demonetized, censored, and trolled channel on social media. Recipient of the Patriot Warrior Purple Q Award. Hello, this is Dave from N4T25 USA, Inglorious Patriots. It is July 29th, 2025, and the time now is 0130 hours Eastern Time here in beautiful North Carolina. And been very busy the last few days remodeling the house and preparing for integration into a larger venue than this right here. Stoney and I have been working on this for several weeks, and we have a potential audience of over 60 million worldwide. So we are not going to promote that here. We're going to let that grow generically, and we don't want to take the trolls that come with this to the social media other venue that we have going here. So be that as it may, Russia just got their shit knocked out of them by Ukraine with a bunch of cheap drones that they cooked up. And it's incredible what these Nazi bastards in Ukraine are capable of. I'm surprised that Putin has had the restraint not to push the button on him. But that remains to be seen. That remains to be seen. And also, last week came the revelation that China has hacked into our nuclear system, our nuclear defense system. That the extent of the breach, I think, is being downplayed. But I don't know why we just don't turn these bastards just off the internet. We have control of internet. We have control of the internet, as far as I know. Why don't we just turn them off the internet? They want to be alone by themselves in North Korea too. Just flip the switch and take them off the damn internet, or go down in the bottom of the ocean and cut the cable and be done with this bullshit. Unbelievable. And what the hell is our nuclear system doing being connected to the internet? It should be its own separate hardwired system that has nothing to do with the internet. Because by connecting it to the internet, you open yourself up to every crazy genius motherfucker who wants to fuck around and try to launch a nuke or some shit. This is insane. But given the fact that the demon rats have had control of this country for a long, long time, along with their puppet masters, who probably we never heard of, we gotta stop all of this crap. We gotta take out the deep state physically. Physically. You can't do nothing when you're locked up in CCOT or in ADX Florence or in some Nigerian shithole somewhere in the middle of the jungle in Africa. That's where these people belong. We have new information about the Epstein files that are supposed to be coming out. And we all know it already. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to validate what we've been saying here for the last, 10 years? And I'm not really a student of history, but Joe, top secret Army Ranger, his major was in history. And I never knew this before. I didn't teach this shit in school. You know, I'm not saying that because I wasn't paying attention, as I would have remembered this shit. Nero and Caligula and all those people, they were doing the same shit that the demon rats are doing, that Jeffrey Epstein was doing. On a much higher scale, much more openly. They actually had fucking coins to pay for different types of services, so to speak, from underage people. And these children were abused systemically out in the open with no repercussions whatsoever. It was part of their culture. I had no idea. So now it makes what's happening now and what's being alleged now way more believable, because these people, they descended from that culture. They imported that shit from over there. From back in the AD, BC days, before anybody knew anything. They brought their fucking obelisks over here and stuck them up in Washington, D.C. and Central Park and all over the place. They named the nation's capital the District of Columbia. Who the fuck is Columbia? I don't know who Columbia was. Some Greek goddess or some shit. And these people, it goes right over the head. Right over the head. They've been trafficking children for nefarious purposes for thousands of years. And the people who do that ought to be fed feet first into a rusty wood chipper. Live streamed. Pay-per-view. Whatever you want to do. And we're done with this shit forever. But that's just a pipe dream that you and I know will never happen. The way to do away with that is when you catch them, you dispatch them and feed them to the alligators. That's what you do. Barack Hussein Obama, the Kenyan fake president Manchurian candidate that was in the Oval Office, occupying the highest position probably in the world for 8 years, caught dead to rights in seditious conspiracy and outright treason. If this son of a bitch is not shackled and perp-walked, then there is no hope for justice in this country. There's no hope. Because that proves that some people are above the law, despite what they're trying to tell us. It's going to take Revolution 2.0 to fix this shit. I've been saying it for a long time. Because the justice system in this country has been broken since it started. But when they finally get to prison, that's when they finally meet justice for real. But anyway, the world is turning into a shithole. China's got mass floods, heat indexes up to 58 degrees centigrade, which is like 147 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know how to do that conversion. The streets are melting. Buildings are catching fire, spontaneously combusting. And on the other side of the planet, they got droughts. So is it climate change? Yeah, it's climate change. The climate's going to change. It goes through cycles. It's normal. It's got nothing to do with us. The absolute audacity to think that 9 billion people on the planet can affect planetary climate change is absolutely absurd. Because the planet will absorb anything you throw at it short of nuclear holocaust. And the way it's going now, I wouldn't be surprised somebody pushes the button somewhere. Because the deep state is playing for keeps. If they can't have the toys, they'll break them. That's their mentality. That's their jailhouse lifer mentality. I've mentioned this many times before. When you're in prison, doing life without parole, it doesn't matter what you do to somebody else in there. You kill them for a fucking crackhead soup. So what? So you get a couple of trips outside the court. The best vacation you're ever going to have. What are they going to do? Throw you in jail? Society is so pussified that they got to stick a needle in your arm because the electric chair or a firing squad is too inhumane. Pissing and moaning about prison conditions for these fucking people that come up here and murder and rape people. Talking about alligator Alcatraz is like Auschwitz. Some poor people in this country would consider what they get at alligator Alcatraz a blessing. Some veterans who fought for this country, living on the street, sleeping on steam grates in the wintertime, would call that a revival or a rescue. These scumbags that come up from South America and from Mexico and from all over the place get better treatment than people who fought and lost limbs and got fucked up mentally and physically fighting for this country. That's a shame. That's disgusting. And the people who are doing that get away with it. They get away with it because there's a two-tier justice system in this country. And the only way you're going to fix it, I don't give a shit what you do. The only way you're going to fix it is Revolution 2.0. You march on Washington and you physically eject these fuckers, put them in prison, and try them for the crimes they committed. And when they're found guilty, you put them up against the wall and you shoot them on pay-per-view. that this shit will not stand in this country. And we're getting to that point. We're slowly moving to that point. And it's about fucking time that people in this country grew a pair and stop being professional protesters getting paid by that testicle-faced motherfucker George Soros. And it's about time we lock that son of a bitch up too. If I had the money that Bill Gates has, if I had the money that Elon Musk has, I'd hire somebody, some mercenaries off the cuff. Go get this guy and throw him out of a helicopter over the fucking Bering Strait or something. Let the fucking sharks eat him. And if anybody asks any questions, the secretary will disavow any knowledge of your actions. But short of that, you ain't fixing this, pal. You ain't fixing this. Sorry. I'm just telling it like it is. I'm not a history major, but I see what's coming. And I see these people out on the street burning shit and assaulting police officers and doing all this crazy shit and getting away with it. They get away with it because of politicians. Just like Jeffrey Epstein got away with his shit for 20 years until they finally had to catch him on something. And then somebody called the prosecutor and said, leave this guy alone. He works for us. And you know some bitch is still alive, don't you? You know he's still alive. We caught Google scrubbing a CNBC article back in 2019 that said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide in a North Vietnamese war bunker on June 25th, 2019. And when I put that shit out on the internet, they took my whole fucking channel down. I can't even post comments on YouTube about Epstein. They know it's me. They know it's about Epstein. They know where the link goes to, and it disappears. But that's okay, because we know. I even called the FBI to try to explain this to them, and they wouldn't try to hear it. And this is under the Trump administration. The Charlotte, North Carolina FBI didn't want to hear it. Didn't want to hear the explanation that Jeffrey Epstein was going to commit suicide on the 25th of June 2019, and we caught him. It's all on tape, it's all screen captures, so all there, links in the description. And they must have said, you know, this shit ain't nobody's gonna believe this bullshit. So they took the video and the article offline, but they forgot to scrub the link. They replaced the video. They forgot to scrub the link that said exactly what I just told you. And that link would not say that unless the article that it linked to said that. Verbatim. So this bag of shit is still alive somewhere. And we think we know where he is. He was spotted by 3 different people in the company of Lex Wexner in a town in Ohio, outside a convenience store, sitting in an SUV. Now, since that revelation was made, I haven't heard anything. But when the time comes, I'm sure we will. But anyway, people, it's that have been with me for since 2015, since I started social media. And even before then, from 2004, when I had N4T25, which I took offline because Google wouldn't index it, wouldn't send anybody to it. That's okay. Because if you escape justice here, there's one place that you won't escape justice. And some people don't believe it, and some people do. But if you don't believe it and you're wrong, you're fucked. And that's not the type of screwing that you want to have, because that's forever. You live, if you're lucky, 90, 100 years, and you think that's a long time. Forever burning in a lake of fire is not where I want to be. I tell the truth, and if I'm wrong, I'll admit it, because I'm not in this for the money. I'm not in this for clicks. I'm not in this to be some frickin' hero. I'm in it to save the country and even the planet. Because I have nieces and nephews that are going to have to live through what I leave and what you leave behind. And I don't want to leave behind a nation and a planet that is run by child traffickers and all-around scumbags. Thank you for watching.
Ever since the Great Awakening, thousands of content creators like myself have been burning the midnight oil well into the wee hours of the morning, and millions of us who are awake are not getting enough sleep. Everyone knows that a good night's sleep is essential for efficient functioning of the cognitive processes that enable a person to discern truth from fiction and deep state-induced woke dementia. Well, years before I was asked to be an advertiser for MyPillow, I have been using their products. The first product I used was, of course, the pillows. I was impressed with the comfort, and I was able to fall off to sleep almost immediately rather than having to fight a bag of foam and trying to get comfortable. The pillowcases and Giza sheets are absolutely the bee's knees, and I have sets for the 2 beds I have in my home. Another thing is their body pillow. I suffer from a lumbar spine injury that is exacerbated by my preference to sleep on my side. Having the body pillow to roll onto alleviates the pressure and mitigates the discomfort, allowing me to fall asleep quickly. Mike Lindell, a great American patriot, has an entire line of quality products that everyone should try. Once you sleep with the pillows and sheets, you'll throw the ones you have in the garbage or donate them to Goodwill. If you go to www.mypillow.com, there is a link in the description. As a viewer and subscriber to this channel, you can buy anything in the store for 66% off. That's 1/3 of the retail price. Just fill your shopping cart and use promo code N4T at the checkout. Take it from me, folks, I've been using Mike Lindell's products since 2015. There is nothing like them on the market, and I say this with 71 years of sleeping experience. Don't forget, use promo code N4T at checkout.